have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
Hello, love bugs, and welcome back to Dear X, One Last Thing. Part chaos, part closure, but no matter what, all heart. So, first episode, it was lovely, right? It was cute. It was heartfelt. It was heartwarming. It was healing. If you missed it, feel free to check it out. It's a letter from me to ex versions of me. And it was honestly quite moving. But I feel like I know why you're really here. I feel like I could hear you guys saying, give me the gossip, give me the tea, entertain me. And so we're going to do it with something I think is especially entertaining. I think it's only right that I start out with a story to one of my exes. So this episode will be a little bit different than ones coming up. Usually letters are completely anonymous. An anonymous sender, anonymous sendee, anonymous writer, anonymous receiver. Anonymous sender, anonymous receiver. But this time you know exactly who's sending it. It's me. However, we are going to spare the receiver and keep his name out of it. We're going to keep him anonymous because even the worst people deserve a little bit of dignity. And after you hear this story, you'll understand why I say the worst people. So, time to give the people what they want and dive straight into it with some background. So, some bases have already been covered. It was an ex-relationship. At the time of this relationship, I was 14. I'm now 22. And he was, I think, 17. He was a senior. I was a freshman. Always such a great idea. And my first impression of him was, I just thought he was so handsome. He was tall and he was athletic. All the girls wanted him, and for a 14-year-old girl to be able to pull the senior that all the girls want, it feels like a good or an important accomplishment. Now I wish I could go back and warn her and tell her he does not care about you. He cares about the fact that you're naive, and he doesn't want these senior girls because they will see through him in, 2 seconds maybe? But it's all in the past. There's no resentment, obviously. Are there any trigger warnings? There actually are. So, in complete seriousness, if this is something that will trigger you, upset you, please do not listen to it. The trigger warning is sextortion. This is a very real story, but your feelings are also very real and very important, and I promise there will be far more entertaining episodes in the future and more media for you to enjoy. So I just want to put a fair warning out there that if you feel like this is something that will upset you, please do not continue. I do want to give you, the listener, some understanding of me and this ex's relationship though. So me and him dated about a year on and off. The relationship, even before the worst of it, was never truly healthy. Now, not only was this a long time ago, but high school was also an especially difficult time for me, so I have blocked a lot of it out. I can't really tell you what we had in common. I can't really tell you how we got together, how we ended up talking, what our first conversations looked like. What I can tell you is the overall feeling of the relationship. I remember never feeling good enough for him. I remember the hot and the cold, the not knowing if I was allowed to hang out with him in front of his friends or not knowing if I was allowed to say hi to him in the halls or not, even though we were dating or at least talking. I remember constantly having to toe the line between trying to be cool enough that I didn't annoy him and he didn't stop talking to me, or he didn't demean me, but also deeply craving his love and attention. I remember lots of nights of crying on the phone with him, possibly him hurting my feelings or maybe threatening to leave me or I'm not really sure. My self-esteem with him was so low. I wasn't technically allowed to be dating at that time, and he knew that. And in order to try and compromise with him to get all of his needs met, I told him it was okay to be with other women as long as they weren't his ex. And he swore up and down he would never do that to me. But not only did he do it to me, he did it to me with his ex, the one person I said, please don't be with. And I found out about it only minutes after I had lost my virginity to him. And that's not even the worst part of the whole relationship. The worst part of the whole relationship was he had recorded that between us and had shared it with some people. He had also unknowingly recorded me nude and shared that with many, 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 many people. And it spread like wildfire and had really damaging effects on me and my relationships and how parents viewed me and how I viewed myself and how my parents viewed me, how other kids viewed me. It changed my view of men. It affected how I trusted people. It wasn't something that ever really went away. It would, spread like wildfire and then calm down and then spread like wildfire and then calm down. And it went on for about, 2 years. And even after I had almost graduated high school, I had anonymous accounts on multiple different social media platforms telling me that they still had those things in their phone and they still looked at them and watched them and really just disgusting stuff. And with all that said, it's time to get started. Dear X, I really was done bringing you up to anyone because you aren't worth my time. But you decided to hit me up recently, and ever since then, I feel like I've had something to get off my chest, but you're certainly not worth my convo. But I need to say something for me, not for you, so this is really the perfect platform. You'll probably hear this since you call yourself a fan of mine. Your DM sits in my request and reads, "Hey, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but whatever. I hope your life has been going amazing. I hope your podcast blows up and does insane numbers. You're still one of the coolest people I've ever met, and I think about you and how you're doing sometimes. Glad to see you're striving to help people out with your content. Keep grinding, man. You'll make it big with this. Blocked or unblocked, I'll be supporting from afar." Now, I know hearing an episode about yourself might hurt your feelings. You might say, "Hey, what did I do to deserve this? I was just being nice. I've changed. Are you still upset over something that happened 8 years ago?" In short, yes. Yes, I am. The thing is, in some way you took my teenage years away from me, and you changed the trajectory of my life. No, I know it wasn't all you. It wasn't all your fault. But if not for you, a lot of it wouldn't have happened to me. So you were a pretty big chunk of it. I was loyal to you like a dog, and you treated me like dog shit. Every time I cried and got the courage to leave, you would come back. You'd fix it. You'd be different, only until you had me wrapped around your finger again, and you'd love to parade around that you had this gorgeous, young, infatuated girl that you could just kick around. But now I've been in psychology for some time, and I understand that you were a scared little boy. Scared of anyone getting close to you, of really seeing you, and so you tried to be the first to leave so you could, I guess in your mind, beat me to the chase, but then not being able to handle being alone because you didn't like yourself, you would come back. And that's why you cheated, right? Because you needed all that extra validation. But the truth is, the girl you cheated on me with wouldn't be enough for you, and neither would I. And maybe that's why you exposed me in the way that you did, because you hated yourself so much that you needed the validation from other men to tell you were special. Daddy issues much? You took my most vulnerable moment and recorded it unknowingly, then distributed it And then you have the nerve to reach out to me and think because you're supporting me from afar, all is well. And I know, maybe you're a little confused because in the past I've been kind, I've been cordial. But like I said, that's in the past. And also that's because of who I am. I am a kind person. And so far, what I've seen from you is you're someone you give an inch to and they take a mile. And like I said before, it's been some time, so maybe you have changed, you have grown. I'd certainly hope so. I've certainly would have hoped that you use this time productively. But if so, do it away from me. You could still eat, but not at my table, not even in the same cafeteria. I hope you have learned, and I hope you've forgiven yourself, but some good behavior doesn't change the past. You have to live with that the way I have to live with the effect it had on me, on my life, on my opportunities, on my memories, on the things it caused me to miss out, on the living hell it made high school, on the friendships it made me lose. And you didn't even have to see all of that because you had graduated when I was a sophomore. Disgusting. Anyways, that's all I have to say. For the last time, goodbye and good luck.
And good riddance, honestly. Huh. Wow.
After reading that, there's certainly a mix of emotions I feel. The first one, empowered, I guess. I guess I'm surprised over how empowered I actually feel. When someone hurts you for a very long time, you feel very small because of them. Especially when you are a young teenager and they're older than you and they're a man. And when they have so much effect over your life, even when they don't go to the same school as you, virtually it feels like they're controlling big parts of your life, big parts of your day, impacting how you think about yourself, how others think about you, what you're invited to, who wants to hang out with you, impacting the conversations you're having with your parents and the rules that are being made around you, and just so much of your life feels dependent on them, and you feel like you're losing control. And to not feel that at all it's astonishing in the best way, of course. And this moment is really powerful because I could see myself and feel the feelings I was feeling so vividly back when I was 14. And then comparing it with who I am now, how sure of myself that I am now. I just wish I could give that girl a hug. I wish I could tell her he did not win. He, if anything, is still obsessed with you, is still thinking about you. And those things that felt so big, you don't even give him a second thought nowadays until he reaches back out. I really do truly feel like that was the perfect person to have as the first official letter to someone else that's not me. And I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm excited to see what you'll share after this. I'm excited to know your thoughts. Maybe we could do something fun, like if, enough people write in about a certain letter or story, we could do like an update in the future or something, like a Q&A of sorts, or different takes. That would be cool. Anyways, stay updated. Follow the podcast Instagram account at Dear X One Last Thing. No dots, no underscore, no dashes, nothing of the sort. And in that bio, you will see the infamous Google Doc where you could send in an anonymous letter of your own. I want to hear from you. I want to know all about what's going on. I want to shed light on it. I want to give you the spotlight and create a whole episode around you. So if you feel so inclined and if you like the podcast, like, comment, share, especially if you're on Apple Podcasts, please. It really helps the podcast grow and get into the ears of everyone who needs to listen. Sounded better in my head, but you get the gist. Before we go, though, I do have a couple different shout outs. The first one being to Kevin MacLeod. I feel like I said it right the first time and I'm saying it wrong now. But Kevin MacLeod on the music with the intro In Your Arms. Second shout out is to who I'm wearing. All Natural KUNT, also known as Lowlife with a Y. As soon as I saw this piece, I knew I had to get it for the podcast. It's absolutely perfect. It's stunning. And in a second, I will show you the artistry and the quality. If you're not watching, I will link the fashion account down below and you could check them out for yourself. If you are watching, prepare to be amazed. It has quickly become one of my favorite zip ups. It is the perfect mix. It's girly, it's cunty, it's her. It's her as a hoodie, as a zip up. So definitely go check them out and support a small business. It means so much more than it does to those corporations. Anyways, I love you guys. I cannot wait to hear from you. Till next time, love, Mia Rose.